So with the BMW M4, the car is really good out of the box. It's obviously very fast, and one of the things we were fighting was the car is very heavy. It has a lot of power, and that's part of the reason we wanted to build it into a race car. But one thing that wasn't too much complication was actually the brakes. We went with the Sparta Evolution full package 380 rotors front and rear, and that was one system on the car that the first time out it worked really good, and we didn't have a whole lot of complication with figuring out how to make it work and how to get the bias correct on it. We had changed a number of things on the car right before we got to the 25-hour that we had to test on Thursday and Friday. We ran into a couple bugs with those things, but we got them figured out, and by the end of Friday we had a really well-handling car that was getting good tire wear. So going into qualifying, we were really confident. In qualifying, that's kind of the first time you get to run the car at night on that weekend, which is always fun. And that's also kind of the first time that all the cars are out on track at once. So you're really fighting traffic during qualifying. It's not so much in our class of car about running just a fast lap, but trying to make space and figure out how to get by the slower cars. And then we ended up qualifying third in class behind the two Flying Lizard cars, the Audi R8 Ultra and their Porsche RSR. So it is a 25-hour race, and qualifying in the end is really not that important for it, but it is nice to, when you're lining up on the grid for the start of the race, to be up towards the front. When we started the race, the car was handling great, and we moved up a number of spots. About 2.5 hours in, we lost a heat exchanger to a rock, a rather big rock, and sidelined the car for about 30 minutes. We went back on track after we got that repaired and started moving up again. Had a couple other little issues, but we were running a fairly smooth race at that point. Around 12:30, one of our drivers had contact with another car at the end of the front straightaway where there's significantly high closing speeds. We think at that point it broke the tie rod on the right front, and the car just straight lined on him. So he went across a lot of grass and into a dirt embankment. And we think he was going about 80 miles an hour when he hit that embankment, so it totally smashed the front of the car. Fortunately, he was safe, and other than being really sore, was able to walk away. And that ended our race. But the car performed exactly how we were hoping it would. It was handling well, the brakes were working perfectly, and specifically our new prototype pads had lasted all the way through up to that point when some of the other top ES cars had already done a pad change. So we were really happy with the performance on that.